Hello, Monday to everybody. Happy Monday holiday day. It's Labor Day here in the United States. Um, just saying hello in the comments. So, a little all over the place today. I just got done playing a game of Scrabble with Drew. He beat me pretty badly. I think he had over 300 and I was 223. But to be fair, I did get what they call, I guess, a bingo, where I was able to play all my letters. Without that, it would have been a complete blowout. So I think we're gonna have a rematch later sometime today, maybe tonight after dinner. We kind of play a version of Scrabble where it's somewhat mutually assured destruction. We sometimes try to play words that are not real words, and then we challenge each other. And I lost more challenges today than he did. So there's that. But I'm excited to be here. I'm glad it's a 3-day weekend. Not too much going on here. A little bit of work, a little bit of play. We're going to barbecue hamburgers for dinner, and we need to give Alton a bath. He had to go to the vet this week for a bi-yearly checkup, or every 6 months. So I guess that's, what would that be, semi-annual checkup. And she said overall he's looking good, but she's a little concerned about the size of his liver. So he needs to go back this week for a ultrasound. So that means I need to drive to the vet tomorrow to pick up some pre-meds, just some stuff to help calm him down. Not that he's super anxious anyway, but she says it just helps when they do the scan or do the test. And then drive him to the appointment on Thursday. So that's going to be a lot. And the appointment on Thursday is in the morning, which, if you know me at all, I hate mornings. But it'll be okay. I do anything for him, and if this is what we need to get him looked at, then that's what we're going to do. So I have down to my final 3 questions. I haven't written up any more yet. I've been busy working on my graphic design stuff. So let's see if we do one or all of these today. I'm going to go with Mr. Green here. Let's see. What is the best vacation that you've ever been on? New York City. Honeymoon in San Diego was a sentimental favorite, of course. It was a great vacation. Drew planned it all himself. He did a great job. But I would say for me, really, really close second was the trip to New York. I was scared AF to get there because I hated flying, but I did it, and I'm so glad I did. It was just amazing, and there's a lot of I don't know. This trip was probably almost 15 years ago now, and I don't know. I think New York, Manhattan has always kind of gotten a reputation for maybe being dangerous or just not very welcoming, and I found that to be completely not the case. Yeah, you have to know, what you're doing, where you're going. You can't stand around in the middle of the sidewalk because it's a very busy place, but I found it to feel very safe, very welcoming, and very accessible. You kind of also needed to educate yourself on which subways had accessible stops and all that stuff. But I think one day Andrew and I scooted practically all the way up and down Fifth Avenue. Got there on one way, got off on one stop, scooted, and then picked up the subway. I want to say around 5th and 34th. I don't know, wherever the big flagship Macy's is. And then rode that back to our hotel, which was in Brooklyn. So, amazing trip. Can't wait to go back. And yeah, so put in the comments below what your favorite best vacation that you've ever been on. I'd be really curious to know. I've been watching a lot of cruising videos, and it's got me itching to go back on a cruise. But Andrew's never been, and so I need to make sure it might sour your perception or experience for all cruises. So maybe going on an Alaska cruise in our near future might be something we would do, and I think he might enjoy that. So I'm only like 5 minutes in here, so I'm going to go ahead and answer another question. Let's see here. I like to complete things, so you might just go ahead and answer all of these. What are some other content creators that you follow? Or who, I should say. Well, let's see. I follow Angie. I think it's Angie Explores or Angie's Video Diary now. She's a great friend here on YouTube, and she watches a lot of my videos, and I really appreciate it. I also follow a lot of, well, how to say this? I don't follow a ton of channels, mostly because I don't have the time. My husband consumes way more YouTube content than I do of all different topics, which I think is a great thing. But I stick to mostly vlogger style. There's a couple family vlogging channels who it's not like they're not really family channels, but they're moms. So they're working moms who have kids, and their kids aren't in their channels. So like Jen Chapin, Javon from Joe Vlogs, who lives in Florida. I sometimes watch Lemonade Mom, Vanessa, who lives in Texas. Who else? Oh, there's a woman in Canada. I want to say her name is Caitlin, who is, she's single. She does not have a family, but she's a creative entrepreneur. Who else? If I'm forgetting anybody, I'm sorry. I apologize. And then in terms of genre, right now, to be honest, I'm watching a lot of content around what's going on in our politics and law. So watching a lot of videos explaining all the different legal proceedings that are happening surrounding the former guy and trying to understand all that. I don't watch the news per se. We don't have cable. So any of that content that I consume, I watch on YouTube. So what else? I'm trying to think. Oh, and then I've been watching, there's another great woman named Jen LaForge who has kind of a lifestyle channel, but also a travel channel. And so that's some of the cruise content that I've been watching. And then, when you watch a video, you get introduced to new people. YouTube makes suggestions. So yeah, that's what I've been watching. And I have a ton of saved videos in my watch later queue that I really need to go through and really organize my whole YouTube platform, just on the viewership side. I like to be an organized person, and it feels very chaotic. But I also don't want to go through and delete all my history or like try to sort that, because sometimes you want to go back and search and try to find something you watched. So yeah, I hope that answers that question. I'm really curious to know if you're watching this video, you came upon it, or you're a regular watcher of my lives. I'm making an assumption you like to watch YouTube, and I'm kind of curious about what kind of content and genres you enjoy watching, and maybe tell me how you came to know of my channel. I really appreciate that. Yeah, and let's just do this last question, okay, guys? So we can start out September, next Monday, when it's not on a holiday day, with a fresh start. I will have a whole new batch of questions. And if you think of anything you want to ask me, feel free to leave it in the comments, and I'll be sure to include those as well. And, so this question kind of ties into the one last week about your heartthrob or celebrity crush. It is, what was your favorite childhood TV show? What was your favorite childhood TV show? Well, I do love pop culture. As you can tell, a lot of these questions have focused around pop culture. And I wonder what they mean by childhood. How am I going to define childhood? I'm going to say childhood is in the ages of, 5 to 15, probably, before you get to become a sassy teenager. And I would say in those years, I think kind of like what was popular at the time, The Cosby Show, Family Ties that I talked about last week, Who's the Boss, Growing Pains. It's funny though, after school, I'd come home, I'd also watch shows like Quincy, There was a show called Trapper John MD. I always kind of like medical shows, maybe because I was in the hospital so much. um, Never liked scary stuff even back then. So I didn't watch scary movies. I didn't like kind of goth centered content. I didn't like anime other than, well, like what we know as anime today. I did watch cartoons. So for cartoons, Bugs Bunny, the Smurfs. I like the Smurfs. I didn't like Gargamel so much, but the cat was pretty cool. Um, He-Man, She-Ra. I never really got into Superman or any of the Marvel characters. I love the Muppets. Oh my goodness. Loved the Muppets. Loved Sesame Street. Um, but also was exposed to shows like 321 Contact. That was on public television. I was already too old by the time Dora the Explorer and that show came along. I remember there was a show, God, I'm trying to think of it. She traveled all over the world. Um, oh, I can't think of it. If I think of it, I'll put it in the comments when I do the post on this video, post production captioning. If you think of it too, put it in the comments. Because it wasn't Dora the Explorer, but it was Carmen Sandiego. That's who it was. I never really got into her either. Like I said, we didn't have cable growing up, so I was limited to what was over the air or on public television. Yeah. So I think that, but if I had to pick a favorite, of the cartoons, I love Garfield too. Garfield was cool. And Snoopy. Although, Snoopy didn't really have cartoons other than the movies. And I was never a big fan of the Great Pumpkin Patch. Which, interesting, Halloween is coming up, and I'm not a big fan of Halloween. It shouldn't really surprise maybe someone wondering how I've talked about not liking scary things, but it's true. My friend calls me a Halloweenie, which I wear with pride. I would be just fine to go from Labor Day to Thanksgiving and skipping Halloween. The only saving grace for Halloween is that my mom liked it. So, I kind of have a warm fuzzy feeling about it because she liked it. But I don't like candy corn. I didn't really ever like trick or treating. Really didn't like dressing up. Never went to haunted houses. Yeah. Just get me to Thanksgiving and then on to Christmas, and I'll be good to go. So yeah. Well, I think I'm gonna go ahead and wrap this up. It makes sense if you're not here because it's Labor Day, and I hope you're out having fun and barbecuing and being with your friends and family, or just relaxing. Sorry if you hear some noise in the background. It's our vacuum running. Got to keep up with all the dog hair. But I will get this hopefully, captioned and posted with all the other videos I'm behind on before next week. Cross your fingers because I do want to catch up. But I'm also having a lot of fun making these graphics, and I really want to get this shop opened up sooner rather than later. So I'm going to go ahead and sign off for now. If you're watching this on the replay, thank you so much. Please like and subscribe if you want to be continuing to watch these notified. And I do these every Monday at 4 o'clock Pacific Standard Time. And yeah, wish me some luck for another Scrabble game tonight. I think I deserve a win. So hope you're doing well. I'll talk to you soon. Bye for now.